In this video, you're going to teach your dog to heel in 6 steps. So this is probably what your dog is doing when on the lead. And I remember this extremely well when my dog Finn was a puppy. And this is what your dog will be doing once you've taken action on the 6 steps. But before we get to step 1, I just want to let you know in the description you'll find a link to my blog post, which is a free downloadable illustrated cheat sheet that includes a painting I created for it. So it looks, hopefully it looks very visually appealing to you. So you'll also have access to my 1 step at a time system, which radically increases your chances of completing the exercise quickly. So what's step 1? So step 1 is releasing the energy from your dog. And step 1 is understanding why dogs pull on a lead. So really the main reason is that dogs walk faster than humans do. I know that sounds ridiculously obvious, but that's the main reason. So, and very often dogs that are pulling on a lead are the dogs that are bred to have exceptional endurance and stamina, like hunting dogs, herding dogs, or receiving dogs. My dog is a collie, and he's got boundless energy. So so these kinds of dogs are definitely not bred to walk slowly next to a human. Nonetheless, dogs have shown us throughout their history that they are highly adaptable to what we teach them. So do what you can to get that initial energy out of them. For example, you can go play ball, or you can go for a long walk before introducing the not pulling on a lead concept to them. Dogs are much more receptive to learning once they've released some of that pent-up energy, and dogs need to get tired. That's a really important concept to learn. Your dogs need to be tired, and most people don't exercise their dogs nearly enough. And so dogs need an outlet for their abundant energy. They've got way more energy than you, and they've got to have an outlet for it. So step 2 is starting indoors. So when introducing the not pulling on a lead concept to them, it's important to do it indoors at home, because it's an environment that they are familiar with. The last thing you want to say to your dog is, hey, I'm going to teach you something new, and I'm going to ask you to do it in a distracting environment. We just don't want to do that. So step 3, you want to shape the position. So you want to click and treat when your dog is near or at the correct position, which is by your side. So I've got a couple of pro tips. So pro tip number 1, as soon as your dog pulls, stop and take 3 steps back, and then continue walking forward. Repeat over and over again each time your dog pulls on the lead. So the second pro tip I've got for you is get their attention with a treat early on. So hold that treat up to close to your eye, so your dog focuses on you. But be clear that this is not a lure for your dog. The treat is just to get their initial attention on you. The dog treat is temporary. So to repeat, it's not a lure. It's just to get that treat up close to your eye, so it focuses. Your treat is close to the eye. The dog will have a look at the treat, and it will obviously get eye contact with you. So it's just a little trick to get your dog's attention. Step 4 is what we call being parallel. So only click and treat when your dog is getting close to the perfect heel position, which is parallel to you. So again, we've got a couple of pro tips. Pro tip number 1 is interact with your dog often during this training session on the lead. So, for example, if they slow down when they're on the lead, say yes, very excited, say yes, and give them a treat. Pro tip number 2: if they know how to sit, ask them to sit and give a treat when, or when they sit, give the sit command, and they do it really well. You give them a treat, even if they know the sit command really, really well. You give them a treat, because what you're doing there is combining 2 training exercises in one. So maybe they're really good at sitting, and so get them to sit while you're doing this exercise is a really good combination. But if they do sit, give them a treat. Because it's quite hard combining the 2. So you're rewarding good behavior. So yeah, if your dog is a jumper, ignore the behavior. If you need help with stopping your dog from jumping, you'll like my How to Stop Your Dog from Jumping on People in 4 Steps. It's a blog post I've got on my website. So I've included the link below for that as well in the description. And step 5 is asking more of your dog. So on each training session, you want to ask for a little bit more. So more parallel to you, more closer to you, and more eye contact with you. And step 6, once your dog's getting familiar, is to go outside. They're getting familiar with the heeling and a comfortable environment indoors. You take them outside and try the training outside. But whenever you change environments on a dog, there will almost certainly be relapses because there are more distractions in the new environment. So it's very important to be patient with your dog. I can't overemphasize that enough. Once you take them out, even when they're indoors, you got to be patient with your dog all the time. When you're training, patience, patience, patience. That's the golden rule of dog training, especially when you change environments on them. You want to be even more patient with them because there's just so many distractions for a dog. I'd say more important than correcting behavior is to reward your dog when he or she is excelling at the new task you're giving them. So, for example, with a positive yes and a treat. So every time your dog slows down, you can say yes and give a treat. So optional, once they got used to that, you've taken through the 6 steps and you repeated those 6 steps over and over again, and your dog's now finally got used to being parallel to you and they're heeling very nicely when you're walking on a lead. You can take them for a run and see if they do the nice parallel, they run parallel to you while you're running. Next option, if you're a dog walker, you might have to walk multiple dogs. My neighbor gets a dog walker over, and she has multiple dogs, and she's pretty good at the heeling. So once you've taken action on these 6 steps, you'll be able to walk multiple dogs at the same time. So to leave you here, I just want to thank you, but I just want to say, good luck, but always remember to be patient with your dog. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you've got a free cheat sheet. Click the link in the description and you get access to that. You can download it. There's no strings attached. I don't ask for any email address or anything. You just download it directly from my blog post.